Hey everybody, this is my kitchen, and me and Miss Brandy and our kids, we actually renovated this kitchen over the summer since we had nothing else to do. Couldn't go anywhere because of COVID, so we decided to upgrade, and just want to welcome you again into our home. You've seen a different spot. Wanted to ask you though, did you watch last week's video? Last week's video was all about saying thank you. It was the 10 lepers that Jesus sent away. He told them to go to the priest, and they all were healed on the way there. They probably all noticed, but one in particular noticed, and he went back and he said, thank you. And that's basically our whole month is about shouting out, letting other people know that you appreciate them, that you're thankful. And that goes without saying when we're close to Thanksgiving, but we need to say thank you. So my question to you today is, who did you thank this week? Now, I hope that she knows this, but there was a lady at Walmart yesterday that went out of her way to help me, which to me stood out because I had called a few different Walmarts and got no answer. I had gone to the front desk and they didn't help. I went to the back and I told this lady my problem. I really thought I was just going to have to leave. But no, she stopped what she was doing. She walked with me. She asked questions. She answered questions. And she actually fixed the problem. So her name was Rebecca. She works at the Walmart Electronics Center in Irwin. And I said thank you. I said thank you a bunch, because I was really thankful for what she had done for me. But what about you? Who did you say thank you to this week? All right. Well, hopefully we can think about that. And if you haven't done it, do it quickly. Do it. Make a little a sign or a note or just tell them, do something to say you're thankful. Now, let me ask you a couple more questions to get you kind of started for this week. What are you thankful for about your school? All right. Most of you are back inside the classroom at least a couple days a week. What are you thankful for about your school? All right. While you're thinking about that, what is something that you are thankful for in your bedroom? All right. Some of you may have a TV. Some of you may not. Some of you may have an Xbox or maybe even a PS5 that you got, or maybe that's coming for Christmas. Or maybe it's a nice comfy bed and you got a great pillow. Now, when I was your age, I had a little stuffed dog and a blanket. Anyway, his name was Twinkles. And boy, I was thankful for him. He was my friend when nobody else was around. And what about something outside? What is something outside your house? Maybe in your barn or outside. Maybe it's your bicycle or your skateboard or your scooter or your four-wheeler. I don't know what kind of vehicle you got. Maybe it's your favorite Frisbee or your favorite football. What are you thankful for? I know I'm thankful that because of our renovation, I was able to buy some tools. I was actually able to use those today. Got me a good circular saw and a jigsaw. Ask your dad or somebody. They'll tell you what those are. But I'm thankful for those. I get to work with wood and paint and make stuff. That's things outside my house that I'm thankful for. All right. Hopefully you've got some of those things. Make sure you say thank you and adjust your attitude. We're going to talk more about that. Why not start right now? So as you see, I've got a watermelon right here. Now, this is a tiny watermelon, but he's going to help us tell the story today. Now, Jesus used everyday objects as he walked along in Galilee and in Jerusalem and all around Israel. He just said, you know what, look at that field. Hey, look at these fish. Hey, look at that tree. And he would tell a story about the kingdom of God. Now, the kingdom of God is you can't really see it, but it's already here. All right? You and I, if you're Christians, you're part of the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God, it includes heaven, it includes earth, and it is just, Jesus wants us to know how it works. And he wants us to learn how to be thankful for that. So we're going to let Mr. Watermelon here, he's going to help us tell the story today. Now, this starts in the book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 1. And it says something like this. The kingdom of heaven is like a man Mr. Watermelon here, who owned land. He went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. Now, a vineyard is simply a grapevine, and it's long. There's vineyards around here in these places, but these are just a lot of land that is dedicated to growing grapes. Okay, so you think vineyard, think grapes, think big ones. I mean, long lines of grapes. So Mr. Watermelon, he goes over here to the sink, hop, hop, hop. All right. And he finds a couple of workers. Let's see. He finds the sophisticated Apple. Yes, he's smart. You see, he's been to school. He's wearing his glasses. All right. And how about, hey man, it's an orange. All right. Yeah. All right. Sorry. And what about, I don't want to be here. I'm a grapefruit and I am sour. So he finds these people over here at the sink, and it's early in the morning. Let's say it's 6 o'clock. The sun is just coming up, and he needs workers for his vineyard today. And here's the first three he finds. It's early in the morning, and he says to them, hey, I need some workers for my vineyard. Will you come work for me today, and I'll pay you a good wage for the whole day? Well, I don't really want to, but okay, sure. Well, I'm smart enough to work in a vineyard, that's for sure, so why not? All right, dude, money. That's awesome. Let's get some. Anyway, so these guys, they come over and they start working. They get working, and again, it's early in the morning. All right. So now he goes back and he's like, wait a minute. I don't have enough workers. Three's not going to get this thing done. I got to get some more. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning now, and he boom, 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 goes back over to the sink, and he finds two more workers. Let's see. Let's get the Kiwi. Good eye, mate. Right, I'm so glad to be here from Kiwi land, from down under, from New Zealand, maybe. I'm better than this most of the time. Anyway, there he is. There's Kiwi, and yeah, let's pump it up, dude. Right, yeah, pump. Ooh, that's what the pair would say. He likes to work out. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll say I need some workers for my vineyard. Will you come work for me, and I'll pay you what's right and fair? Oh, sure, man. Yeah, right. Sounds like a plan. Good day, mate. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so they're over here, and they're working in the vineyard alongside these guys, okay? All right. Will the pair stand up? Oh, no. All right, well, he gets a back row then. All right, so now it's 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now it's 12 o'clock, and Mr. Watermelon, he still needs workers. So he bop, 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 bop. He goes back to the sink. I see. Oh, he finds two limes, man. Hey, man, I see their limes, and they are crazy. This one's happy, and this one's, oh, he's shocked. Anyway, so he asked these, hey, I need some workers for my vineyard. Okay, man, sure, why not? Hey, man, okay, we do that. So they go over here, and now they are working in the vineyard, and that was at 12, okay? Now, the day is halfway done, and he still needs workers. So he hops, boom, 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 shaking the whole island. And he finds one more worker, and it's a banana. But he's undercover. Shh. Hey, man, you want to come and work for me in my vineyard? Psh, don't give it away. I'm actually not a banana. I'm a sweet potato. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so he's undercover. But he says, I'll work for you anyway. He said, good, I'll pay you what's right and fair. What's right and fair. So he hops on over, and he's over here working with the other people in the vineyard. It's getting hot. It's getting sweaty. Let's see, that was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the time is, oh my goodness, it was almost 5 o'clock. Okay, it's almost quitting time. I still need some more workers. Let me see who I can find. And he hops back over to the sink, and then he finds little baby grapes to work in a vineyard. Anyway, so he asked these, hey, do you want to come work in my field, in my vineyard? I'll pay you what's right and fair. Oh, yeah, we want to work. Hey! We've never had a job before. We're tiny. We're awesome, and we just want to go work. Yay! That works for me. So now, that was 5 o'clock. One more hour rolls by, and it's 6 o'clock. It is time to pay the workers. And this is what this is the story that Jesus tells. He says the people that showed up at 5 o'clock, these grapes, they came up to the worker first, or the Mr. Watermelon, and he said, here, and he gives them a full day's wage. Let's say it's for today. Let's say it's $100, and he gives it to them, and they say, yeah, $100. Wow, we only worked an hour, but this is awesome, yay! $100, they only worked an hour. And then the next person comes back, the person that was hired before them, the banana. Hey, man, I don't really need the money, but I'll take it. Well, here's $100 for you. Wow, all right, $100. Wow, I didn't work with a few hours. Okay. Wow. Then, who's next? Oh, the limes. Hey, man, everybody. Hey, dog, oh my gosh, here's $100 for you. Oh, hey, man, hey. Now, all right. So then the other workers come, and then we've got, hey, all right, good eye, Mike. Oh, it's good to be here. Yeah, it's a great day's of work. You're kind of hot and sweaty. $100? Yeah, you get $100 too. Okay, well, I worked a long time, but all right. Okay. Yeah, dude, right, yeah, pump it. Ooh. Here's your $100. All right, yeah, okay. All right. So now he's getting down to the last ones, the first people that he hired. All right, righteous dude, yeah. Excuse me, but by my calculations, we should be getting exactly 6.25 times as much as the people that got paid first. Well, I didn't want to be here. Anyway, here's $100. You said you'd work for $100, a good day's wage, and here you go. We don't understand. Oh, that's not fair. We worked for an hour. Yeah, man, we worked all day long, and we're getting paid the same as those guys that just got paid for an hour? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we were sweating all day long, and I messed up my makeup and my hair and whatever. Well, that's what I said. I would pay you a fair day's wage, and that's what I gave you. Oh, whatever, man. I don't quite understand, but I don't like you anymore. But I like $100. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, that's the story. They didn't understand what was going on exactly. So those last three, our orange and our grapefruit and our apple, you know, they have been toiling all day long. Some of our other ones have been toiling for, 6, 7, 8 hours. And they got paid the same as the ones that only worked for a few hours. But that's what they had agreed to. They had agreed to exactly a day's wage, $100 from the start. And it was up to the watermelon, Mr. Watermelon, the owner of the vineyard, to pay whatever he thought was fair to the other ones, to the grapes or to the limes, all right? He can do whatever he wants to with his money because it's his. And so Jesus told this story to his disciples, to the people around him that were listening, to show that God is generous. He didn't have to give the $100 to these. They didn't really deserve it, did they? They only worked an hour. But God is generous, and he will give freely to whomever he wants. And what we really need to understand and get from this story is that just because these got 100 and he got 100, he still got what he deserved. He got the full day's wage. What he needs to do is adjust his attitude. They need to adjust their attitude and not look at what somebody else has. Sometimes we do that. Christmas is coming up, and you may have friends that are getting that Xbox or that PlayStation 5, or they're getting four-wheelers, or they're getting trampolines or whatever, and you may not get those things. But the thing about it is we just need to adjust our attitude. We need to have an attitude of gratitude. Have you heard that before? Gratitude means simply being thankful. And so these guys, they got exactly what they had signed up for. They were upset that other people got the same. Isn't that strange? But that's exactly what we do. God says, I'm going to give freely. He gives salvation if we just ask. But we just have to adjust our attitude in our mind and be thankful for what we have. You know what? Before this day started, this apple, this orange, this grapefruit, they were hanging out in a sink, and they didn't even have a job. But it was the watermelon who gave them a job. So wouldn't that be smart to be thankful to get a job in the first place? They started off with nothing, and then they had $100 at the end of the day. I think that's something to be thankful for. And that's what we need to do, is adjust our attitude and be thankful. Now, let's continue this just for a second. This is our activity. We're going to do it together. We're going to adjust our attitude together. So here we go. You wanted to play outside, but it started to rain. How can you still have gratitude and be thankful? All right? Well, number one, if it never rained, then crops would die. We wouldn't have anything to eat, right? So we need to be thankful that it's raining, but also there's games to play inside, right? I'm pretty sure you've got some puzzles or some board games or a tablet or something that you can do inside, and it'll stop raining. Around here, North Carolina weather, just wait 5 minutes and it'll change. It'll be hot, cold, wet, dry, you name it. Now, what about if you were going to watch a movie at home, but the power goes out? How can you still be thankful? You had power in the first place. There are still people around the world who don't have electricity. They don't have TVs. They don't have Blu-ray players. They don't have tablets or phones. So we need to be thankful we had power in the first place. Number two, we have a home that we can still enjoy. And again, we can't do exactly what we wanted to the moment we wanted to do it, but we still have games we can play. We can still be with family and enjoy life together, even if we can't watch that movie exactly right now. Number three, you wanted pizza for dinner, but you're having broccoli cheese soup. How can you still be thankful? You have something to eat, right? You and I both know not everybody has enough food. There are people that attend Miss Brandy's school, and she knows for a fact they don't have enough to eat at their home. These kids, they don't get enough to eat. They will eat everything that is handed to them, and then they'll take food home. Thank goodness that there are churches and there are programs that send food home over the weekends and the times that these kids are not at school, so they'll have some food to eat in their home. It's sad, but you need to be thankful that broccoli and cheese soup is right there. You could have had nothing. So at least you got something. Number four, I think, you wanted a puppy, but you got a fish instead. How can you still be thankful? Well, fish are pretty fun. I would prefer a fish, and we've had fish in the past. You don't have to, take them outside and take them for a walk. You don't have to pay a lot of money to give a fish a shot so he doesn't get a disease. So there's still some good things. And fish, they're good all the time. They don't make a lot of noise. They don't make a lot of mess. All right? So enjoy the fish. Maybe one day you'll still get the puppy. How about you if you studied all weekend for a test and still got a C instead of an A? Your friend, he didn't study at all. They still got an A. How can you still be thankful? Well, you did your best. All right? Not everybody is going to be a straight A student. Okay? But you did your best. You're able to go to school. You have a smart friend. That's one thing to be grateful for. Maybe they can help you with your homework. Maybe they can help you with studying. How about for your birthday, you got $10 from your grandparents, but your brother got $15. How can you still be thankful? Well, you have grandparents. Not everybody's got grandparents. All right? You got some money. You got 10. Maybe your brother's older and he deserves a little bit more because the things that he wants are maybe a little bit more expensive. But one day you'll get that $15. And maybe if you've got a little brother or sister, they're going to get the 10. So just hang on and be grateful and thankful for what you've got. Here's the last one. Your friend got a new bike, but you share an old bike with your brother. How can you still be grateful? Well, you have something to ride, right? It may not be brand new and you may have to share it with your sibling, but you've got something that you can ride, and one day you're gonna grow out of it, and maybe you'll get a brand new one, or your brother or your sister, they're gonna get too big for it. It'll be all yours. But for right now, you got something that you can share, and you have a brother. Isn't that great? I didn't have a brother. I did have a great sister, and I had a great childhood. But in the meantime, I want you to be thankful for what you've got. Right now, I got a lot of fruit to eat. All right, just remember to have faith, have fun. We'll be back in the building real soon. I miss you, but we're going to have a great time. And be thankful this Thanksgiving, okay? Go ahead and start thinking about how many blessings that you have. All right, see you soon.